Oh, that's cold. That's not going to work. All right, there we go. Coffee for you, coffee for me. Whew. Also, half the problem is the kids were late this morning. All right. Is that thing alive? Is it dead? Is it not wanting to do anything?
Alive.
I don't trust anybody or anything. Let me see. I don't even know if this will pick up. But seeing that we are talking of manufacturing today. Good morning. I still don't know if we're live. I hope we are live. Otherwise, I'm going to say good morning a million times. Good morning. Goeiemorgen. Coffee.
I see you.
All right. Goody, goody.
It looks like that.
All right.
A little bit.
There we go. It's very hard because the camera is different to the software. And then we hope you guys actually see what we are doing. So, you know, being late is gay. Our 4 children did not want to move today. And then as we are about to go live, I'm getting questions. Dad. So I'm like, okay, you'll go away now. You go away now. You go vacuum stuff.
Stuff.
Yes, it's been an interesting morning. So, all right. Actually, Wednesday, I think, Wednesday or Friday, I said we will discuss a little bit around manufacturing, the processes and things like that. And then yesterday we showed you guys the biltong and we made the ribs, which came out really good.
They were really good.
Yeah, they were really good.
One rack may be dead.
No, 2 racks are dead. There's like that much left of the second
I saw
rack.
More the last time I was there.
Yeah, no, there's not much left. There's like 3 ribs left or something.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yes, the kids like killed it. I had more. The one with the chili was actually
very nice.
Very nice, not overbearingly hot. So that
flavorful
was
to the tea.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know, I'll show you guys some of the stuff we make. There's a lot more, and of course the biltong and things like that. But this is typically something you could tangible that you could see that you would typically use even if you don't eat biltong or meat or anything like that. This is typically what products would look like, come out like, or be like if you were to manufacture some stuff, you know. So who are we saying good morning to first? Let's start with that.
First things first, Red Pill Rebels first on the
Good morning,
fire
Tommy.
Today. Cliff the Sard.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. And it says, hell yeah, good morning from northeast Oklahoma.
Okay, that's
cool.
not even far.
We were like in your neck of the woods not long ago.
Last week Thursday we drove kind of through that area.
We did. Highway 69.
I think so.
Would have been appropriate for episode right? 69 yesterday.
Yes.
We've also got Chappie in as well.
Good morning.
And Flying Flower. Don't forget Jimma.
Yes, Jimma is also here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So there are a few steps when you manufacture things, and cottage industry is different to commercial, and depending on, I guess, where you are, like every state's a little different. There's a lot of different requirements and things like that. Now, one of the rules that we've learned is when you hand something to someone, you do not require the food labeling. So like this, it's not really required on the spices, but I put it on there anyway, just to keep it standard. But stuff like this, where you have a nutritional label, you have ingredients, allergens, and stuff like that. Now, you have to list it by law, unless I hand you this bottle. All right, then you don't have to have it listed. I.e., if you are cottage industry and you have a little stall at a farmer's market, you do not need anything. Which also says that people at farmers markets can pretty much put anything in their
Yep.
products, and because you have the opportunity to ask them what's in it. Now, I've seen lately, and I agree with this. There's a guy that I do a little bit of stuff with online called Kelly. It's just a dude like we are, and he highlighted something, and there was a few other people that highlighted it where a bunch of products were tested because they apparently contain avocado oil, like
I
chips
saw
fried in
that.
avocado
Yes, I
oil,
saw that
etc.,
too.
etc. But when tested, not now. That is not new, okay, and
It's happened
that
forever, yeah.
is we actually know people,
Yes.
not
yes,
personally,
Yes. No.
but know of. Now,
Ooh,
let
you're not wrong.
me, and Jim makes some products, so Jim will understand what I'm saying. When you make stuff, you know, basically, when you in a kind of manufacturing environment,
Mhm.
you know what certain things look like, what certain things require, you know, calories, calculations. You know these things because you work with them. You know, it's like when you are a mechanic, when you look at a car, either based on experience or based on just muscle memory, I guess. You know when you look at a car that a certain wrench fits on a certain nut or bolt. You
Metric
can
and
see it.
materials.
Well, you can see it, and some of it's experience because you know you've worked on 20 of these cars, so that bolt over there is a half inch, or it's a 13, or you know whatever, and or you can see it, and you're like, well, that's like probably, you know, that's probably a half inch, and you 9 out of 10 times you're right because your eye is trained. Now that's the same for everything. When you become a specialist in your field, which theoretically is 10,000 hours of practice, makes you a expert in something. If you actually, you know, practice it, if you actually do the job, you know, you can't sleep next to your guitar for 10,000 hours and say you're an expert. You know, you have to actually strum the damn thing. So if you're actually practicing your art, all right, and you do that around 10,000 hours is the supposed expert level, you know, where you don't require the cheat codes anymore. So I have told Nicole on many occasions that people are lying on their labels because you can see in the product and you can see in what the label says, like something's off. Like they might not be lying a lot, but they're omitting information. So
Normally
and that's
omitting.
the most thing is that they normally omit information. So when you see a source and the consistency seems very kind of viscous, but they claim not to have put any ingredients that assist in viscosity. You're like, that seems weird. Because, and the problem that most of these guys do, and I think there's going to be shit about this at some point. So they add some kind of starch because that's the starches are the easiest way.
It's the go-to for a lot of
Yes,
people.
to and that's why you'll see a lot of sauces have wheats.
Fillers.
Lots of fillers. Have we got any of the imported older spices left?
I've got something.
Whatever you got, just bring one or two of them. I know the Parman's is pretty clean, but I just want to see what else is there. But there's a lot of fillers. So dextrose is something they use. It's dextrose is an anti-caking agent, and it's I don't want to say, well, it's starch based. It's not necessarily gluten based, but it's starch based, and what it does is it's an anti-clumping agent. So in your spices, people put dextrose. So you'll see like mine clumps a little, and the reason for that is because it's clean. So you'll see it like it won't just flow It'll clump a little.
These aren't a favorite, but they all have exactly
Oh
what we're
yeah.
talking about.
So Boston, yeah. So not that I want to advertise any brands, okay, but this is something made by Uline. Now, this is a very popular. I'll show the people. This is very popular in the UK and in South Africa. Aromat, and I was never a big fan of this. I ate it on occasion. It's supposedly excellent on eggs, and it's great on corn. And I always used to have a bottle in the house, more for guests than me. I had it a few times. I'm like, I don't know, something tastes a little off to me. I just prefer salt. So the ingredients is as follows: salt, first ingredient. So this is supposed to be from most to least percentage of the product. So salt is first. Maize flour is the second one, and it is genetically modified maize flour. Flavor enhancers, MSG. And it says flavor enhancers, monosodium glutamine, and then it says MSG. So this is basically corn flour and MSG with some salt. Okay, I can't even read that. Like I don't know.
Disodium inosinate. I don't know. Disodium. I don't know. Yeast extract flavoring, hydrogenated vegetable fat, vegetable and spice extract, which is onion and mushroom, and anti-caking agent.
So this is the anti-caking agent is probably a dextrose. So this is a Uline product. Now this is the UK version of that. So iodized salt, flavor enhancer MSG, lactose i.e. milk. So it'll be a milk powder extract, wheat starch, yeast extract, onion powder, salt again, iodized salt, and then salt, garlic powder, onion extract, turmeric, blotus, emulus, mushroom extract, spice extract, celery, seeds, cloves. Then there's more mushroom extract, bay leaf extract. May contain rye, barley, oat, egg, soy, or mustard. And mustard. All right, so
neither of these actually say the allergens. This one does a little bit better. That one doesn't even say it.
Yes, so in
milk, wheat.
Yes, so in South Africa, you don't have to list allergens, and you don't have to list complete nutri-labels. The laws around it in the US is actually quite a bit more strict. So
there's folic acid in South African flour.
Yeah, it's not even listed.
2003, they don't list it. They just say flour. No, there's folic acid in it because it's mandated from 2003. Believe me, it's in everything.
Yes. And I wanna explain this to you guys before we go into the actual manufacturing part, because it's very important to understand that just because the label says doesn't mean the label is truthful.
No.
Which is coming out more and more, and we've been suspecting this for a long time, because there's certain things you eat and you're like, man, I don't feel good after that. And it's like it had something in it, but it's not listed, and I'm not sure.
I don't know what it was.
Or you can see by the product that the people make that there's definitely a lie, like the Nutri label is wrong, and stuff like that. You want to pop in chat?
Sure. I've got Dead Dingo Dan.
Good morning. Good morning.
And DH Godzilla. Good morning.
Good morning.
To you
shall I say to Dan, good day, mate?
Yeah, good day, mate. Ha. So Jim does say, you also train your ear. With experience, you can tell what's wrong by the sound.
Yes.
That is so true. Man, I chuckle sometimes with our equipment. We're like, something, okay, let me go check it because something's not quite right.
Yes.
Cliff the Sarge says starch to thicken the viscosity, aka fillers. Yes. Flying flour, aka bad.
Yes.
Jim, I've noticed a difference with brown sugar. Lately, it dries out faster and turns into a hard block. Now, what is brown sugar, Anton?
Brown sugar is sugar and molasses.
Molasses. So if that molasses ain't real molasses.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, so it's not. In South Africa, we have a brown sugar. Now, our brown sugar is more like sugar in the raw.
Yes.
It's not the brown sugar like we know here. Brown sugar here is supposed to, I think it's 85% sugar, and then the balance to 100%, 20 to 15% is molasses. That's why it's kind of sticky.
Mm-hmm.
But now you see what they do is they introduce fucking corn syrup into everything because
And
it's not that corn syrup's cheap, it's just that it's subsidized, which makes it cheap. So our taxes literally pay to poison us. Literally. They take money from us, give it to the farmers. Yeah, soy as well. They give it to the farmers to produce the shit, which then the companies buy cheaper because our taxes subsidize it, which is bullshit. We should just not subsidize it. But anyway, so because they get this fucking poison cheap, they substitute it. I know somebody's told us that a lot of the bees are fed basically. So bees will go and eat if you put food out for them, like if you put sugar water, they'll go eat it. So what they do is they put corn syrup out for the bees, and the bees take the corn syrup and then produce honey. So they just mass feed these bees corn syrup, so it comes in the honey that you get from a lot of the kind of big places,
So suggestion on that: try sugar in the raw. I understand you like the flavor of the molasses. I would say it's much more flavorful to a white sugar, if that's something that would be worth it for you.
But what I would suggest is you need to find somebody. So we've got a company.
Yeah.
But you need to find somebody that'll give you a consistent product if you want to make and that's actually a good, what do they call it? It's a good transitioning point because now we can talk about that.
Or even honey granules, depending on what he's making.
Yes, but honey granules are expensive.
I know.
They're much more expensive than.
Do you say hello to Sith before
good morning,
we continue down another rabbit hole?
So the biggest thing you want to do is you want to avoid buying, and I know it's hard, especially if it's cottage industry, but you want to avoid buying your manufacturing or your ingredients for your manufacture from Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, Target, because they will have branded products, and even the manufacturers that supply them will have a branded product, but the product inside the branding might not be the same. So you could have a Walmart brown sugar, Members Mark or whatever they want to fucking call it, but the sugar inside might come from these guys, and then they find a better fucking cheaper Chinese guy, and then they say, all right, now, so it's got the same label, it looks exactly the same, but the product changed because now it's a new guy making it, and he might be using a different molasses, he might be using lower quality sugar. You want to go to a supply company, and I don't know if Cisco necessarily is the answer, but they'll probably, because that is what they deal with, they'll probably be more consistent in their supply. So, but you can look at a co-packing, spice creation, spice supply, something like that. You want to look at a company that can actually, and you normally want like a backup company. So you want kind of one. We only have one. We should have a second.
Yep.
Because sometimes they run out, but I don't think we're big enough yet to justify just yet a second. But I mean, if you're going to get really big, that's what you want to do. But you want someone that will give you a consistent product. So consistency is the most difficult thing to achieve when you manufacture, is to keep it consistent. So you want to make sure that your products remain consistent. So you want to buy high quality, and unfortunately, when it comes to high quality products, it increases price. But you should drive from a point of quality instead of just volume. So I had a guy. So this sells for like $8.99, all right, which I think is reasonable. But I don't have a huge margin in that, so it's very hard for me to wholesale. So someone wants to resell this. So I said, well, look, I can't do a lot on the cost, but I can bring it down a little, and if you buy bulk, it's okay. So I brought it down. He's like, yeah, man, it's not low enough. So I went to go look online just to see where some of the guys are, and at my cost, a lot of guys are half to maybe 2/3 of my wholesale price I can do on this. So they can sell that guy, if he's half of my wholesale on this, they can sell his product for almost the same as mine, but pay less. So there's a bigger margin for them. But that's what you get.
Wheat. Yes.
Fillers.
Yay,
and,
MSG.
So what they do instead of in here I have, let me see, I got Celtic salt, which is expensive compared to normal salt.
Yes.
It's like 3 times the price.
Yes.
I got honey granules. I got paprika, good quality paprika, garlic, onion, and then I've got spices and herbs because I'm not going to give you my whole formula. But and I don't have an anti-caking agent, which means it's all spice. Now, what I can do is I can probably halve this, stick MSG, which is fucking cheap, and some corn flour in here, and some dextrose to not have it cake, and probably save $2 on my cost.
But
Okay,
then you
but
can't taste it.
well, no, the problem is
So
that it'll
stupid.
probably taste similar, but I'm feeding you poison. And
I
why?
don't want to have my name on the cancer diagnosis.
No, exactly.
I
don't. You
I
know, so
don't.
it's a
I'm sorry.
principle thing. It's like, when you it's so funny. The other day we had someone in one of the groups, and the lady complained, and she's like, when I used to buy at X store, the bread used to mold in like 3 days, but when I buy from this store, it takes like 2 weeks. And so it's much better buying from the
Not
2 week store. And it's like, well,
normal.
yeah, because they put fucking trash in the bread. The guy that molds in 3 or 4 days, probably real bread, like
Yes.
probably or closer to real bread. It's not the shit you're buying from the other store. But they were like, no, I'm going to buy there because 2 weeks. And it's like, well, just in your fucking brain, like when you think about it, how does bread not mold within a few days?
I may have said it out loud to somebody yesterday because sometimes this thing goes off before I stop it
Yes.
and put it back in my mouth. So I had a customer in because I was getting the such confused look on the biltong, and I was trying very hard to explain it. Oh, but it's refrigerated. The fact that we're trained to think that stuff out of the pantry is good is not a good thing. It's like, these are new people. I should have said that. Sorry.
Yes, they're not coming back, I take it.
They seemed okay when they left because they understood. I knew all of the ingredients. I knew exactly how it was made. I could tell them why it's different from, the not good beef jerky. It's not full of shit.
Yes.
I think they gave me a second chance, but I felt really bad because it came
Like,
out.
So
Foot in mouth moment.
so you wanna make sure that you get really really good resourceable. So you don't want to find some cans on special, they're in the corner by the clearance by Walmart, and say, hey, you know what I'm going to do? And I make some product, and then someone happens to like it, and then those cans never come back. So you want something you can repeat buy. Check the ingredients on the cans. I stopped using. I know it's open. Bring me that. The salsa thing there in the fridge. What do you call it?
Oh, the stuff we've been eating.
Yes.
Well, because I don't like wasting stuff. I got big problem wasting.
Yeah,
but you don't waste.
we have some Rotel. That's
you don't
it.
waste.
So we got Rotel, and we don't want to waste it because I still got a couple of cans of this.
It's not the cleanest.
No, so this.
Down at the bottom.
Yeah, so I stopped using this, and here's the reason: because I don't want this in the stuff I sell. So tomatoes, water, chopped green chili. Okay, less than 2% of salt, calcium chloride, natural flavorings, citric acid, and cilantro. So the calcium chloride and the natural flavorings is my problem.
Yes.
Because I have to replicate. If I put this in, do me a favor, seeing that you're up, bring me the relish. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in the corner here, and me and her crossing over. So for me to put it in something like this, which is a relish, or to put it in like my sausage or something like that, I have to add the ingredients that's on that.
Everything.
I have to put on my sausage. So now people buy like the sausage, because I used to mix that and tomatoes, give it a nice little flavor because the Rotel's got a good flavor. But now I've got to go put the citric, not the citric acid so much. That doesn't bug me because there's a lot of stuff with
But
that.
the natural flavorings.
But
what
the
is
natural
that?
flavorings and the chloride,
Yeah.
whatever the chloride, So I've got to put that on, and now people are like, "What the fuck is he putting in here? If there's like some chloride shit in here?" And you're like, "All right, I don't want that in there." So I found a clean tomato, which is pretty
Just
much
tomatoes.
crushed tomatoes and salt. That's fucking it, and that's what I use in my sausage. So when I make sausage, I use a tomato puree as part of my thickening agent. Instead of water, I use a part water and a part tomato puree, which then thickens it better. So it helps it bind a little bit. So on your manufacturer, the first thing you want to do is find a source where you can repeat buy your ingredients. You make sure good quality, repeatable quality, and it's available, because there's no point in you spending all the time in making something and then you're like, oh fuck, now I can't make it because I can't find my shit.
Nope.
All right, so that's kind of the first step. You want to make sure that, if you're going to do these things, that you have, or at least if you're going to buy from Walmart, and there's nothing wrong with that, because they get their stuff. So just make sure you buy a good quality, something you trust, and something that you think will repeat in quality. Like Jim said, the brown sugar is an issue for him now, and that could be because of where or the type you are buying, which could possibly cause that. Hit chat for a second, and then we'll carry on.
So Seth was mentioning that celery seed goes great in spice rubs for barbecue/grilling, as well as good in sauces like homemade barbecue sauce.
Yes.
That's nice. Good tip to know. I'm making a prime rib this afternoon. I cover it in seasoned butter with oregano, thyme, garlic, onion, and salt.
Nice.
That sounds really nice. We've got Chappie reminding everybody to smash that like button, repost, subscribe if you want to, but repost and comment is foremost, first and foremost.
We forgot, we have a locals account, so we're going to connect that. I'll do that during the week now.
Yes, we can get that connected for sure. We've also got a few others sneaking in. Who did I see? Oh, Jamal, my baby back ribs. Dry rub is never consistent. I don't measure anything.
Yes.
At least you know.
No, but if it's for yourself, it's fine.
At least
It's when you sell stuff that you got to try and
So Cliff the Sarge, they do the same with antifreeze. Only 3 manufacturers sell it under 20 different labels, but vary on price due to market branding. It's so stupid.
Yep. Lots of stuff like that. Many such cases.
Right. So Sith has a question. Where do you get those bags you marinated the ribs in yesterday? And do you think it would be okay to use them to do the 36-hour refrigerated soak for do-it-yourself biltong?
Yes. I don't. So I guess if you want to really. All right. So let me try this another way. I don't like to do biltong in the bags, because if you vacuum seal it, you compress it. So if you have one piece, yes. If you have multiple pieces, like I've got 8 or 9, to then vacuum seal them is difficult, because the meat will press and overlap, and where it overlaps, the marinade won't get in. So I prefer just laying it in a tub and rotating it. If you're going to make one piece, yes, you can vacuum seal it, and you can probably do it for like 12 hours instead of 24 to 36, and it'll be fine. You can take it out. But to individually seal, I do 100-kilogram batches, and that's going to go up to probably 300 kilo. We're going to have to get some real big tubs and carts and stuff. Yeah, I've got my process is geared for like 300-kilogram batches. I do 100-kilogram batches right now, because my
transportation,
my conveying equipment. Okay. Yes, and the carts we have and the tubs we have. The tubs we got take 90. I overload them.
Not when it comes.
Yes,
kind of takes 90.
Kind of takes 90. Like I stack over the edge, and then I push that cart, and I can see those wheels are like this when
Remember
I push it.
those weird noises we were talking about?
Yes. It's the constraint is the kind of conveying equipment to move stuff around. But I've got bigger equipment. Or I've got my processes geared for much bigger than what we can currently handle in case we have demand, so we can expand. And then I gotta increase my dryer sizes. Well, not increase. I gotta add dryers, which we have space for, but I still gotta do that. So, I can't individually seal pieces of biltong because it'll take me like
forever,
3 days to do what I do in an hour. So that's not practical. Firstly. Secondly, remember, if you have liquid in a bag and you vacuum seal traditionally, it's going to suck the liquid out. So keep that in mind. You cannot use a extractor vacuum sealer. You have to use a chamber vacuum sealer. Chamber vacuum sealers start at about $1,000, and then they go up from there. We got a couple of really expensive ones.
Unless you're not wanting to vacuum and you're wanting to just heat seal, which is an option, but you really have to be mindful of what you're doing. That's takes out the vacuum.
Yes, but you're still also gonna, if you just heat seal, you gotta kind of just press out as much air as possible, but then you still have to rotate
Yep,
it
you filter
because
it. There's no
it's not vacuuming. So
Yeah.
so that then I would just lay it in a tub. Personally, that's
Yeah.
the easiest, least amount of effort, and you're probably gonna find that that's Ben.
I told you to turn that thing down.
I'm sorry, I got Ben Dykes on. I just clicked on his YouTube channel and I saw it was an hour, and I was doing math and I forgot to mute my computer. So Ben just started randomly talking in the background. Yeah,
Ben's pretty cool.
yeah, Ben's a cool guy. So, but I don't know if you'll necessarily get more benefit out of that. If you want to be kind of fancy and just like use like a Ziploc, you can lay it in a tub of water and the water will press out the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then once all the air is out, you can Ziploc it. So that is one way of doing it. But you got to make sure no water go in the bag. And also, if you can do it with a heat sealer and a pouch if you want, but you lay it in water and then you seal it. And then secondly, the bags, you can get them like on Amazon or all over. I buy them in thousands from a wholesale supplier.
And what we were doing is technically cryo sealing.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. I know that's not a home method to do. I almost feel like we cheat when we do stuff like that because we're using the main equipment.
Yeah, we're using commercial equipment, which people don't really have at home.
It's because we have it. That's why we do it.
Yes.
But with that said, that's why we could potentially sell like that for you to go cook at home because I've got the equipment to do it properly.
Yes, and then but I would for biltong I would not do that. For ribs I would do that. I would vacuum seal them in. And you could just lay it in a tub of water and let the water press the air out, and then you can Ziploc or heat seal, however you want. It's those stand heat seals looks like a big stapler.
That's a cheaper way to
That's
do
like
it.
$50 on Amazon or whatever, and you could just heat seal those.
And you'll have more options with the heat sealer as far as what type of bags you use. So the vacuum sealers, the type of bag we have is a chamber sealer specific. It does not work on the vacuum sealer.
Pouch, normal vacuum bags have a perforation.
Yes, they do.
Because it needs to suck the air out. The bags we got don't work on that.
Yeah.
And then just for interest, the bag we used yesterday was a 8-inch by 20-inch by 5 mil.
5 mil.
5 mil thickness.
So that takes a lot of heat.
Yes.
We've learned, but we do that on purpose because we work with precious items that have been known to puncture bags at times. Because it's real. I mean, and that happens. If you do a 3 mil bag, it's going to get punctured. So we went to 4, and then we went to 5.
We had 3, then we went 4, then we went 5.
Yeah, we went all the way up to 5.
So
we've got WMD1 saying, "Hail, Anton."
Good morning. Good morning.
You're awesome. Chappie's in and out, but he did, of course, remind everybody to go to biltongusa.com, use code RRR for 10% off of your biltong purchases.
Please
so
do.
I know you're not hearing me say this, Chappie, but thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much.
Jody is in, and Jody did remind about the tip in 2 minutes. So I just want to make sure you knew, in case I did not say it out loud.
As soon as the oven.
I can't remember if I had said it or not. Look at that. One of my fave off-the-shelf barbecue sauces in Gates from Kansas City. Is Gates from Kansas City.
Okay.
I've never heard of that, but cool. I do chuckle. A lot of the guys that make barbecue sauce start with a barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it's weird.
They
have some barbecue sauce that they use as a base for their barbecue sauce. It's like, I like this, but I like to add salt.
It's very funny. It's very interesting how that kind of happens. But you know what? To each their own. If it works for you, who am I to judge anything? Last I checked. Thank you for the answer. I'll just do the tub method. Sid, I am excited. When you start pumping out the biltong, show us. Send some pictures. Would love to see how it's looking, how it's going. It's fun. Okay, once you do it, you figure out what you like. If you like it more moist when you take it down, if you like it more dry, how thin or thick you like it. There's so many options once you literally have the item in your hands.
Yes, absolutely.
And SS Grunt, is in as well. He just
Good morning. Did we create this code?
Did you not create it when you asked me?
Why don't you create this code?
I'm going to create it now.
We're going to create your code right now. Right now, we're going to create your code while we are talking.
Did it last night.
No, I asked you and you said no. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure she'll get to it. So I think Nicole thought I'm doing it. I thought she's doing it. And apparently we didn't do it. So your code will be active in like 2 minutes. But no tip. Let's see. All right, my kids in and out. Um, so spice or ingredient sourcing. Then what you need to do is you need to acquire a little thing like this that can measure grams. All right, you want something like this, okay? Because when you start using cups and spoons and shit like that, you will never ever be consistent. Okay, you want to write your recipes down using grams on a scale. Now you get more accurate scales now. So what I found in my search of scales, now I didn't do the $700 scales because I am not at that level yet. Someday probably, but right now my scales do 1 gram, which I think is close enough because people use spoons and cups, so I think I'm okay. I used to have a scale that would do 0.00. So 0.1, 0.2, so it'll do a tenth of a gram, or a hundredth of a gram, I guess. But it would do so I could do 0.01 gram, okay, which is like almost nothing. It's like dust. Yes, so because I used to have like a 7.5 grams
I remember
yes,
that.
and I used to
don't
be,
miss
but
that.
no, but here's the thing: when you bulk, that goes away because a half a gram on 5 kilograms, which is 5 kilograms is what's that in pounds, like 10, 12 pounds.
Yeah, it's closer to 12.
A half a gram on 12 pounds means nothing. It's just the scales.
You used to do that with French toast. I think that was the
Yes.
last one I remember
Yes,
doing.
but it's
was
because
French
we were
toast.
making 4 or 6 slices.
We
So
never needed
no.
to bulk it too much because
No.
breakfast.
But when you make small little, like if you do real gourmet type cooking, different. When you do bulk manufacturing, like if I do 2 or 3 grams more or less of something, like nobody will even notice. It's not enough to make an impact. But you want to get a scale, you want to weigh in grams, and you want to make sure that you weigh your ingredients properly. And you want to make a recipe. So you got to write down a recipe and you got to stick to that recipe. So you know what your baseline is, and then you can make changes from there. You want to keep that recipe updated. You want to add a version to it. You want to add a date to it. So you want to know, this is Braai Spice version 1.0. So this is my first one. This is my recipe, and save your historic recipe. So you want to keep all your progress.
So
I'm bad at that. I don't always do that. I just save over. But you want to keep your historic stuff. So you want to do version 1 and save it, then version 2 and save it, and then version 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and you can maybe say anything under 1. So 1.0 will be your commercial release. 0.1 would be the first. Or 0.0 would be your first release. 0.1 would be the modification on that. And as soon as you are happy with it, you go to 1.0. And then you list your recipe, you put a procedure to it. So you say, okay, so, I first add X, and then I add Y, and then I add Z. And it is like, mixed for so long, or whatever you're doing. And, you put times to it, and you write a process to manufacture.
Yes, because the sauces, it matters when you add certain things depending on what you're putting in it. It matters. You got to do the whatever item first. Sometimes you're lucky and you can put it all in, but not all the time.
The process of assembly could be as important as the final product itself. It's the way you make it, in what order you do things, could change the consistency of your product. It doesn't sound logical, but it is. If you need items that need a rehydration, so if you're using dried onion or dried garlic, or dried cilantro, or any kind of dried anything, jalapenos, anything, peppers, that the sauces need rehydration, or the ingredients need rehydration. So you need to take that into consideration. So they'll probably go in first, and hydrate for 20 or 30 minutes, and then at 165, for example, and then you want to add your wet ingredients. Your let's say your diced tomatoes, or your fucking rotel, or whatever the fuck you put in there. So you want to You want to make sure that whatever needs hydration with the appropriate amount of moisture, be it vinegar, be it water, whatever it is you're using, goes in there. And then you add your wet, quote unquote, ingredients. Yes. And then, you need to incorporate that. So that'll take 20 or 30 minutes, Then if you blend it, you got to make sure that you try and blend it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so you get the consistency right. If you do it a lot, I would almost see, okay, the consistency now is good. You want to do the same process when you blend. So, you go zigzag through the pot, or you go up and down, or 5 minutes, keep it in one spot and kind of spoon it around. Whatever you do, do that the same every time, so you keep your consistency as close as possible to the same. And then you need to do a Nutri label if you're going to commercially sell, which you probably need a program to help you work out. Or,
it's not what you think. Yes. I used to do the whole add up everything, which is fine until you think of reduction.
Yes.
Which I forget.
So you gotta weigh everything when you start. You gotta weigh it when you are finished. You gotta take into consideration the reduction in whatever the product
water
is.
Evaporation, and drying, dehydrating.
Yes, all kinds of stuff, and then that changes the.
It totally changes it.
So that is a summary, I guess, of what you require for your manufacturing. So what are we for time right now?
It's 8:45, so okay. YouTube needs to go away.
YouTube needs to go away, and we'll do some questions and answers and bits and pieces on Rumble.
All right, YouTube, if you don't want to be gay, come to Rumble with Rustic Ranch and you will see more. But while you are on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe,